Hello once again from me, Noel Cronin. Welcome to my personal selection for what's coming up on Talking Pictures TV over the next 2 weeks. We'll be putting in the miles as we journey to Inverness, Malaya and points between. Our first stop, though, is down the rabbit hole with a landmark 1966 television production of Alice in Wonderland. Directed by Jonathan Miller, this was both a hugely ambitious production and a different take on the classic story. It hasn't been seen on television for many decades. The cast is astonishing. John Gielgud, Peter Cook, Peter Sellers, Michael Redgrave and Wilfrid Bramble, to name but a few. Anne-Marie Malik plays Alice. It was to be her only acting role. Much of the play was filmed at the old Nutley Hospital in Southampton. Adding to the unique ambience is the music by sitar maestro Ravi Shankar. I really urge you not to miss this one-of-a-kind film when it makes its long-awaited debut on Talking Pictures TV. 2 films now from the Danziger brothers, whose archive we have recently acquired. Both from 1960, both unseen for many years. First up we have Night Train for Inverness. A man kidnaps his own son and takes him on the overnight train to Scotland. But in doing so he is endangering the boy's life. The boy is played by 12-year-old Dennis Waterman in his very first film. The father is played by Norman Willand in an unusual role for this normally dapper gent. Also in the cast is one of our favourite actresses, Jane Hilton. Night Train for Inverness is really neatly plotted suspense thriller. The Nudist Story is something quite different. It stars Shelley Martin as a very proper young woman who inherits, horror upon horrors, a nudist camp. She's determined to sell the place, but then she falls in love. Her co-star is Brian Cobby, an actor whose voice was his fortune. Never let it be said that the Danziger brothers didn't like variety.
Supercar, supercar.
Is it a car? Is it a rocket? Is it a submarine? Supercar is all of those things and more. Lots of you have been asking for it, and at last Jerry Anderson's first sci-fi supermarionation show, made in 1961, is coming to Talking Pictures TV. Piloted by the one and only Mike Mercury, Supercar travels the world and beyond to help those in need. These kinds of puppet shows were in their infancy, but the writing in Supercar is great, and the scale model work is excellent for the time. I say scale model, but one of the many supercars that were built was 7 foot long. So let's join Mike on his adventures in the vehicle of the future, from way back in our past. Go on, you know you want to sing the theme song. As ever, it's a joy to read all your letters and emails. Here's an interesting one from John Ward. Dear Noel, I know it's easy to talk about how things were much better in the past, but your channel continues to demonstrate that in film and television. At least maybe they were. Out of Town is a joy to watch. Zedcar and Dixon of Dock Green are truly great crime series, as is Vandervelk. I'm sure you already have a wish list of things you'd like to show. Can we as viewers contribute to that list? I know it's not as straightforward as just asking, but maybe some of those powers that be would like to see how much more interest there is. Best wishes, John Ward. Well, John, your all suggestions are marked, and we really do. When we get a lot of requests for a particular program, we take it very seriously. Of course, we have to go to the rights owners and negotiate a fee to license the film or the series. But your suggestions are always taken on board, so do keep them coming. Time to sing along and set those toes a-tapping as we meet one of the legends of pop music, Ray Dorset. We were thrilled when the Mungo Jerry singer-songwriter took to the stage at one of our live events. He's a great storyteller and a wonderful man. And of course, we had a tune or two, including the classic In the Summertime. I promise you'll be singing along too when Talking Pictures meets Ray Dorset. A Town Like Alice, made in 1956, stars Virginia McKenna and Peter Finch, two truly fine actors. It's a beautiful and heartbreaking story of wartime courage and love. Virginia plays Jean, taken prisoner in Malaya by the Japanese. Along with the other women and children, she's forced to trek endlessly across country. On the way, she meets an Australian soldier, also a prisoner, who risks his life to help Jean and the other women. Few films show the horror of war in such contrast with the resilience of the innocent people caught up in the conflict. A Town Like Alice truly deserves its classic status.
Oh, Joe, they keep moving us on. They won't let us stop. They say there's no camp for us. There's no camp anywhere.
Can I get anything for you? Can I get anything for the kids?
Joe, come back.
They mean business.
Joe, come back.
Come on,
We'll be all right.
Let me take you back to more innocent times with a British comedy classic, The Happiest Days of Your Life, made in 1950. It stars those two legends, Alistair Sim and Margaret Rutherford. Chaos ensues when a girls' boarding school is accidentally billeted on a boys' boarding school. This is truly one of the funniest films of all time and produced by those cinematic geniuses Frank Lauder and Sidney Gillett. That same team would take us on the most raucous school of them all, Centrinians. The Happiest Days of Your Life was filmed at Langley Court in Liss in Hampshire. Among the teachers are John Bentley of Paul Temple fame, Richard Wattis and the magnificent Joyce Grenfell. This is one of those films with hilarious scene after hilarious scene. The laughs just don't stop. In this company, how could they?
Memoirs of Casanova? Wasn't that the book we caught Jessica James reading in the closet? Yes. Yes.
Of course, Talking Pictures is on your screens 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so there's lots more to watch. If you want to know more about what's happening at Talking Pictures TV, why not subscribe to our weekly newsletter, which drops into your mailbox every Sunday. If you'd like to write to me, you can get in touch via email at noel@talkingpicturestv.co.uk. If you prefer to put pen to paper, the address to write to is Talking Pictures TV, P.O. Box 592, Kings Langley, Hertfordshire, WD4 4DB. So get your voices tuned for a good old sing-song of Supercar. Supercar.